Hi guys, welcome back to another Warzone video where I am continuing my average tips from an average player series. I haven't uploaded to this series in a little while, however I got a win recently on stream where I was basically just regaining the full game. It was a solos win and we gulagged after getting our first free loadout, and then we never got perks or anything ever since coming back from the gulag. We were constantly looting off dead bodies, constantly using a bit of ground loot to try and get some kills. And in the end, I win the game with an STG that I picked up off a person in one of the final circles, and a purple well gun that I found as floor loot. If you do like this content, then please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If it does improve your gameplay, then comment down below what you have learned from the video. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, so make sure you put that notification bell on. And I upload a YouTube short every day that I don't upload a main video. And if you want to see me play COD live, then check me out at twitch.tv/RyanSmith_. We're building a great little community over there. It'd be great to have you join us. I hope you're well, but for now, enjoy the video. Alright, so we'll start this gameplay review off in the gulag, and there's no point starting to see me going to the gulag because it's all about regaining this one. So, I quite like this new gulag. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to play it. Typically what I do is I tend to run straight down the lane that's in front of me through these doors. I can normally hear them either to my left or right, and basically, yeah, just I get the guy at the end. Nothing too particular. See, that guy sat in the corner. People can play it like that. Some people run in the middle. Some people use their glitches. Pretty easy gulag win in the end. Alright, so we're looking to regain. So when I look to regain, especially in Caldera, money is a big issue. I did die over there. So I decided that, right, we're going to try and regain. I'm just on the chat at this point. So we decided to go for some scav contracts. Scavengers are really good to regain off, because all you got to do is collect a box. You don't have to hunt someone down like a bounty, where you don't have to try and do a recon, especially in solos with a recon. Obviously, it pings a flare up in the air. Bit difficult to try and regain off a recon, and you don't really get too much money off it. I was landing in a relatively hot area of the map. Fields is quite a busy area, and a lot of people rotate in and out of fields throughout the game. So, bit of a risk landing here. However, we land. We try to get a scav. I remember this scav actually doesn't work. It's in this little hood. And for some reason, I can't pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up. Can't pick that up. Can't pick it up, apparently. It's one of them things that's still broken in this game. But yeah, I'll fast forward to some of the bits. So we get the scav. And then we basically just start carrying up the scav. Scavengers are pretty good because obviously you get money out of the loot boxes, and then you can also get obviously money for completing the contract, and you get an armor satchel for finishing it. So we're just now on a bit of a looting spree, trying to get some weapons together. Still got we've got purple wellgun, which is really good out of that box. I do like the ground loot wellgun; it's pretty good. And I think I do pick up an STG at some point as well, maybe a green STG, which ever since it's buff to damage range and stuff like that, very very good. Alright, so just rotating towards the buy station. When I was playing this game, I was a bit when I was playing this game out live, I was concerned whether or not I should try and maybe loot a lot more. As you can see, I've got $8,800. I think this is the currency in this. On me, I only need another 1,200 for a loadout to hit the 10 grand for a loadout. However, I decided not to get the loadout really in the end. I decided to just play off using my ground loot. I'm pretty competent with the ground loot in this game. If you're not, then maybe you might want to try and loot up a little bit more for the loadout. However, money line on the ground, especially mid game in Caldera, just doesn't exist really anymore. They nerfed it hard, and yeah, it doesn't really exist that much anymore. So you've really got to try and work for it. You can't need contracts going. I don't think there's any contracts around me. So yeah, you really need to work for it. Alright, so just looking for it. I think we get shot at some point here. You guys probably can't hear the volume's a bit low. I'll turn the volume up just a little bit. Just trying to scope out the area, see where we're at. I have had people camp this tower before, that's why I am sort of looking towards the tower. You have or do I try and just... Oh, do I just... No, I'm just going to buy you up. I decided to buy UAV. Bit of a risk, but it is what it is. And then we instantly get shot. As soon as we buy the UAV, we got shot from behind. Which would then scramble in the house. And then we know we've got two players rotating in towards us as well. So because I'm pretty confident with the ground, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for these two. Pausing to see if he's rotating in. And at this point, I'm just thinking, right, I'm going to try and get some kills. I've got ground loot. I've already gulagged. It is what it is. These rocks are not that easy to get over. Try flash, see if I can get a hit. Didn't. Throw another one out. Again, didn't get any hits on the guy. Saw him. Shot a little bit early, but it is what it is. He's more focused on fighting the other guy, though, which is great for us. Pull out a bit of a longer range gun. Start shooting that guy first. Okay, so I shot this one first because he's the one facing me. The guy who's actually shooting at him, who I'm trying to get involved with a third party, I think he just downed him just as I started shooting. However, he was the one facing me. He's the immediate danger, not really the one who's got his back to me. So he's the immediate danger. That's why I start shooting first. We blew him. And he's obviously going to run round this rock. Try and play it up. Tip. Wait for him to self-res. And you get the kill for yourself. There we go. This guy. This well gun. Purple well gun off the floor. Well, I think any well gun off the floor, really. For some reason, it's got insane range. It's more like an assault rifle range rather than an SMG range. The damage drop-off isn't that harsh on it. So if you can use a well gun, then I would seriously try and use the well gun. Let's reload. We can play it all the time. Caught the guy plating. Nice and easy. Look for animation. So when you see people going to attachment animation when the guns like sort of rise above the head, or plate animations, or stuff like that, just look for animations where you can get a kill pretty easy. That guy was obviously caught plating. Easy kill in the end. And now this is all about regaining. So basically at this point, I don't think there's a point in this game from now until the end of the game where I use any of my actual loadout guns, or guns that I would have in a loadout. So pick up a Bruin, bit of a random gun. However, it is slapping again at the moment. All Modern Warfare guns are at the moment. So the Bruin was a great gun back in the day as well. Alright, so now we're just back to looting again. Obviously this guy, I traded that guy's Bruin in actually for the XM4 because this is the gun I'm more comfortable with using. I've used it quite recently. So this is the gun I'm more comfortable with using. So we do trade it in for the XM4. We've got $7,800 on us. So now we're starting to look for buy stations, contracts, where can we roll into. Hit that buy station rather than... Obviously, that buy station is here. So we tagged that one. Rather than this one next to the redeploy balloon, because the gas is going to start pushing. By the time I hit that one, I'm going to have the gas on my back. I'm not going to have a chance to hit it. That's why we hit that one. When you're on the regain and solos, I mean, when you're on any sort of mode in solos, it's all about just rotations. Solos in Caldera is literally just about making the right rotations. If you can do that, then you've literally got 3/4 of the battle won. So we'll start rotating in. Parachute across. Bit dangerous, especially going through capital. There's loads of people love to camp on these rooftops. It's quite like downtown in Verdansk for camping on rooftops. So we parachute in. I start getting shot at. I mean, obviously we're parachuting, it's fine. I land, and you guys probably can't hear this. I'll turn the volume. I instantly hear footsteps in this building behind me, and I get shot. And now it's just a case of starting out with this gun. So as soon as I landed... So again, it's all audio cues at this point. So I literally... Try and crank this up a little bit. So I land. I hear audio cues of a wooden floor, which lets me know that they're inside some sort of building. Play it up. Guy was lying on the floor. Did catch me a little bit by surprise. Did take all my plates off, but this well gun, absolute beams. We've got the job done. Loot him. Now we've got 13 grand on me. Again, just like, because I'm firing an unsilenced gun, I kind of just rotate just a little bit out of the area where I've fired it, because if anyone pings that in the minimap, they're going to come straight for that area. You know, try and reposition a little bit, try and get myself in a bit of a better angle. Maybe if I want to re-challenge them or someone challenges me, just kind of basically get plated up, get safe, and then I can go again. I'm looting, basically not after really much. I've got an XM4 and I've got this well gun. I'm quite happy with the loot I have. I'm basically looting for perks. As of Season 3, you can now get perks in loot boxes, and it makes looting towards the end of the game, mid-game, end-game a lot better. I'm having a look to see what this guy's got. Don't really want any of his loot. But yeah, as I say, we're always on a regain here. Like, we regain, yes, I would say we probably have regained at this point. But if we don't have a loadout, we don't have perks. So we're not on a full regain, but you know, we're doing alright. Alright, so I've got 15 grand on me. After looting a little bit. Got a buy station in front of me. I could buy a loadout here, but I'm kind of person who I'm comfortable with what I've got in my arsenal here in terms of a well gun and an XM4. I've got dead silence. I'm kind of happy with what I've got. I know that I'm going to get another couple of kills probably out of whatever guns I've got. So I'm not really too bothered about buying the loadout. I'd rather the UAV and the self-res at this point. So we buy a UAV, we buy a self-res. And we start pinging dots. And get ready to fight. So to which one I want to go for at this point, really? Obviously, we've got one on the map there that I've pinged, and we've got one in the house. Right, I'll get it in a second. And this chat reminded me that I dropped a cluster strike there. Seeing that guy rotating out. And all of a sudden, I think this is because of Ghost. Obviously, Ghost in Warzone nowadays means that you've got to be constantly moving for Ghost to activate. However, I think when you're floating in the air, I don't think it actually counts. I'm not really too sure. However, also we get another red dot, and then we get the hostile dropping in. So we end up with 2 people on us. See that guy landing on the building. We saw this guy as well. This is the guy that was crossing the road. We get him. Instantly, I don't have time to try. I need to play it up. I know the guy's right next to us. I would normally run away from that, but I obviously just don't have time. And I know there's another guy around. I just don't know where he is. I get the hair strike, the cluster strike that I dropped. And now it's all about just looking for this guy. I'm sure this guy gets a couple of shots off of me, but I'm not too sure. Pinged the last building. Obviously, I know there was someone in that building, so I pinged the last building where I knew where they were. And this guy starts firing at me a little bit. I'm sure he gets a couple of shots off. If you fast forward just through ever so slightly. Yeah, he was I know they were getting some shots off. And I was getting hit a little bit. I don't think I was actually getting hit, but I know they were getting shots off. And they knew where I were. So, we basically rotate out. Use the gas mask. Rotate out. And again, I'm just rotating just through the zone. I'm hugging gas at this point. You kind of can do this quite alright in Caldera, provided you got a gas mask. I'm just looking for where this person is. I just don't know where they are. So I think, you know what, I'm just going to rotate out and fight them another day. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles. You don't want to rotate too often with the gas behind you though, so you kind of want to rotate out. And this is actually a little bit of a hard rotation because there's a lot of open space towards the right way I have to push into. Again, I'm just trying to look for this guy. The site is awful. I said the site's awful. If you guys can hear that, the site is absolutely awful on this. Can't see him, can't see him, can't see him. Try not to make noise and we just rotate out. The problem is we're rotating through an area of the map where it's quite open. A lot of foliage, but... And I didn't actually realise... I don't really play this part of the map all that often, but... This is new. But I didn't realise that this was obviously the upcoming Godzilla event. But yeah, the blueprint looks absolutely insane as well, by the way, for that Godzilla. But yeah, this is there. Never seen it before, but there we go. It's new. I didn't really expect it close because of gas. Often, but that's new. Alright, so now we are just rotating through, playing it slow, playing it slow, playing it slow. Basically, there's 15 people left. I've got 7 kills. I've got a chance of winning this, really. So, at this point, you want to start playing slow in solos. Alright, so, as I look to go into the map, where I must pull up my minimap at some point. Alright, so here, I pull up my map. So, I ping a point where I know that I want to rotate into. So, in that building. Building up the hill. It's in zone. However, when you're playing solos, people love to camp in buildings. So, when you're approaching a building solos, just presume that there is someone lurking in that building. And that presumption, as you will see in a minute, spoiler alert, treats me well. I hear a recon drone go up. And I just don't know where it was. I couldn't see it in the sky. But I thought, again, that triggers the idea of there could be someone in this building. So, be careful when you push it. And it just so happens we hop in. Here's the guy there using it. And we just catch him. He is the glass break. Or might hear me run up to it. I don't know. I don't really use a recon drone all that often, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, he is the glass break here. And instantly he's like, oh dear. You see the heart beating or recon drone? I'm not really quite sure what it was. He's doing something. Yeah, he was not listening for me. It was a nice easy kill. Alright, so I've got this house now. I've got zone. I don't need to worry. So we actually, in solos, are playing it pretty slow. So we're just literally hide in this building. Now loadout comes in. And as you can see, it's not in a great location. I'm here. That's a lot of open ground to try and cross. So I made a decision. I'm not going to play with loadout. Again, I'm happy with the weapons I've got, as I mentioned before. So we decide, you know what? Is what it is. Let's just play it out. Loadout pop there. It's a rough loadout. That's a really random loadout location, but it is what it is. Alright, so we'll just basically camp the house a little bit. Don't have to move, don't have to rotate. I've got zone, got zone, got zone. Let the lobby kill itself just a little bit. Pulls up there. Alright, so one thing I will say I've just noticed what I've just done there as well is I'm obviously on a regain. Don't have a loadout or anything like that. I would normally run steams. Don't really run a heartbeat sensor all that often, but it was there available to us. I didn't have any tacticals or anything, so picked it up. Why not? Come in quite handy. Basically, we'll scan the area around the house to see if anyone's nearby. As we wait. If zone pulls up there, I am. And we wait. Zone pulls in. Quickly just heartbeat just to make sure no one else comes in with it. And then zone pulls up the hill. So again, I'm looking at the house thinking, could someone be in that house? It's, again, as I said, solos. Chances are someone could have been. So we just start rotating across. Heartbeat just quickly, just to make sure no one's in it. And then we just push in it just in case the ghost or something like that. Just basically clear it. Didn't think many people were in. Alright, so now we're looking at zone. So there's two options. I can either rotate to the right or to the left and up the hill. I've got to go up the hill. It's a horrible push, but we decided I'm going to go left. There's plenty of coverage with the foliage, trees. As soon as someone dissipates in the trees and bushes on Caldera, they're basically really hard to spot. So I decided to push that way. That'll be the better play. As I said before, when you begin, it's all about just rotations, rotation. Just literally make sure you make the right rotations. Ping us on the map as well, so obviously the ping, literally the opposite side of the circle to me. Ping them so I knew where it is. I've looked at that house and thought possibly someone could be in that house. It's a bit of a god spot of a house. Also up here as well on my left, probably. And now I've just climbed some rocks. Yep, obviously they has called it there. House on my left, could be up there. There is fighting up there. So, again, I know they made it easy to climb rocks in this game in comparison to Verdansk, however, it's still so difficult. That's another quality of life issue that really does need to be addressed. Alright, so I know there's someone to my left. Or there was someone to my left firing. We're trying to get up this hill. We're making a lot of noise, but it is what it is. No one pushes me. So I've kind of just got a little bit of a spot where I've got kind of a good little bit of cover here. Heartbeat. See, this is where the heartbeat comes in handy. I don't like people who sit and just look at the heartbeat all the time. However, this heartbeat does come in pretty handy. It lets me know that there's someone 31 meters away from me. And you can angle just a little bit with it. There they go, they run out. Quite nicely timed. We get it down. I've got no plates on. And I do something pretty stupid. I just run straight out. End zone, they just give up. So now we can rotate back and just play it up. That was a risk. I could have been caught out in the open. I had no plates. My health was regenning. I've done better moves. I was hungry for the kill. But yeah. Sometimes you just got to ride a little bit of luck. So I know there's someone up the hill. So we're just pinging that. Just heartbeating again. Just to make sure no one's crept down the hill on us as we were killing that guy. And I see him just... Just there under the camera box, and as I rotate, I see him move here. And I dip back in the cover. And I put the cluster on it. It's a smart way to get them to move. They've got to move. And therefore, it obviously covers my advance as well. Just put a red dot on your map if you're going to do stuff like that, so do remember that. We picked up some syringes. And let's swap the XM4 out for this STG. Now, the STG has had a massive buff in the most recent update. It's because it's in the Godzilla bundle. The Godzilla bundle STG build actually is pretty much the meta build as well. So it's a wonder they've buffed it. It's been heavily buffed. This thing absolutely slaps. Don't really like that sight hunt. I would use the 2.5 times sight hunt. However, beggars can't be choosers. As I say, we'll just literally use what we can find. Playing this really slow. And we hear the guy running to the right of us, I'm pretty sure. Only 4 people left up. Anyone has this big house, that's the issue here. And I'm talking to chat at this point, I'm saying if anyone has this big house, like where the buy station is there, that is the play. That is the god spot on this circle right now. Whoever's in this house, it's got absolute god spot. Basically, just waiting for a zone to rotate in. You don't want to move out too much in solos. You can get aggressive at this point and try and slay out the lobby. I think I heard someone behind me, yeah. Did I hear the bush behind me? I did, yeah. Somehow this guy just creeps on in. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I'll try and crank the volume. That back. I heard a bush move. Yeah, I heard him drop down. A bush move. And that's, again, just audio cues. So in the corner, he's there. Welgun does bits. Now again, obviously I'm firing an unsilenced weapon in the final zone. Very risky thing to do. Now, the other 2 players know where I am. So there's no point trying to really run away from it too much, because you can't really run that far. Now, I know obviously there's a guy up there, and I see this guy. As I swing this corner here, I briefly see this guy. I swing the corner to have a look, and I see the guy. You can't see it under my camera, but there's a guy here. Mount with his STG. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's walking through this house. Got shots on him. STG absolute beams. Because I've blued him here, push. As soon as you blue someone, and you can, just push. Stim in to move a little bit quicker. Get up the house. Put some pressure on this guy. Started actually moving pretty well, actually. He does put up a little bit of a fight. Tries to catch him guard, but I don't know if he had fully plated by that point. Almost kills me, but we just had to do what we had to do there. That's literally just an ego challenge and a half that you just have to do sometimes. See him on outside. To be fair, he did actually stand there and chow. Don't know how we managed to get it down. Shots were a bit wild, but we hit it. Now in a 1v1 situation, I'm just thinking someone's got to be in this house. It's an absolute god spot. Just gonna loot up with this guy just very quickly. Make sure we've got everything we need, just in case, extra plates, stuff like that. And yeah, now there's kind of nothing. I've cleared up behind me and stuff like that, and there's nothing in the hill. And it just so happens that this guy, for some reason, just isn't in the house. He's just walking around next to this tree for whatever reason. So up to the STG, get some shots on him. God, let's go. Woo! And in the end, that was a rough win. That it was a rough win, but we got there in the end, and that was basically how you win solos. Without any perks on a regain. We didn't have any perks that game at all. I don't think we really got many out of boxes, anything like that. We literally just played the game with the guns that we had, using the ground loot that we could find, using the loot that we had off people. Basically, it was a massive regain game. I was still regaining right the way through to the end. I never really regained properly. I never got another loadout or anything like that after come back from Gulag. But we still got the win. And I hope some tips in this video have been able to help you possibly improve a little bit of your own gameplay. If you do like this content, then as I said before, then please don't like, share, and subscribe. The videos help. And I'll catch you all next time.